All right, good morning, YouTube. We're back at 348. Tim's scraping away the head gasket, and Josh is replacing valves, which was an unexpected twist in this journey. I chalk it up to fatigue. I think it was mostly fatigue. Fatigue, hunger. You guys have been turning away on it for like 7+ hours. That one cam was not cooperating, and I think we ended up advancing it when we were supposed to retard it. It was like off by like 8 or 9 degrees, and we wanted to make it 8 or 9 degrees retarded, and instead we advanced it 8 or 9 degrees, or maybe even 10. And so it was probably like 20 degrees off. We spun it. Josh goes, "Hey, that was a lot of resistance." To which we all said, "Oh crap, now we have to do the valves."
Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop.
Having fun. Scraping away, Tim. Scraping away.
I thought we were past this.
Yeah, right. You thought you were done scraping gaskets. All right, we have the old and the new.
Bit different.
Slightly. It looks a little thicker.
Yep.
What?
It has thicker and the stem's thicker. It's not all back cut like the factory ones.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, it makes it less expensive.
Oh.
This is better for flow. This will cut your flow down a little bit.
Oh yeah, it looks a little taller. Huh. Interesting.
Yep.
That doesn't look like it's a lot of fun.
I thought I was done with this shit.
Looks like you're done scraping gaskets. No, man. There's always gaskets to scrape. Just think, now you can even be like, hey, I've had to pull ahead on a Ferrari motor. So the valve's like kind of half in there, and then you squish the spring.
Yeah, the valve's fully seated, but we gotta collapse the spring.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all the way up, and I just smash the spring down and put in the little keepers.
Yep. Put the little keepers here in.
Nice. Oh, those guys. Oh, that's assembly lube?
Yep.
Oh,
Engine
okay.
assembly lube.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to put fresh valves in here dry,
Yeah,
so we're gonna lube them all up.
that's what she said.
Ooh, the oil that got picked up from the gas station was not really super great.
Yeah.
So after rotating the motor 14 times,
Yeah, probably.
it started to kind of get a little tight, and we had to keep re-lubing the cam cap. So we're gonna reassemble it with this, because now we're gonna recheck all 4 camshafts again just to make sure.
Yeah, might as well.
Yes. So I did not spend this much time on this to not get it perfect.
Or do we do it again?
Oh. Or to have that happen.
Feel the weight of that one compared to the weight of this one.
Oh yeah. So that's just a magnet?
Yep.
That's cool. That works.
Yeah, theoretically it's for... It actually came with the shim kit, so you can pick the shims up out of the tray with
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
But obviously, the oil suction between the shim and the bucket is such that
You can just,
if you can get the oil suction between the bucket and the head to release, you can just slide it out.
Okay. So you pull up the shim, compress the spring with that cool tool.
I've got a little T-handle on the bottom, so I can tighten it.
Oh, okay.
Now I've got a little, see that I got a little tension on it, so I'll put a little more. Try to pop it to get the seat between the retainer and the keepers to give up. They've been in there for, there we go.
There it goes.
Yeah, they've been in there a long time, so they got a pretty good bite.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sweet.
Now, release the compressor.
And valve pops out. Ta-da!
And was run with Shell V power for many years.
So you put some assembly lube on at the where the valve seats.
Not so much where it seats, more along
where
the stem itself.
Okay, so glide
Okay,
into
the
the guide.
Yes, and the valve stem seal. They have a little rubber seal with a spring on top of the valve guide underneath the valve spring assembly, and that's what keeps the oil from running down the valve and into the combustion chamber.
Okay.
So you want to make sure this guy has some lube on it, both for the guide and for that seal. You don't want to damage either.
And put in the keepers.
Yep. It's kind of like herding cats. They're conical and triangular all at the same time. and then you get the little tang, and so you've got to get it to drop in to the retainer and around the valve, and you're using a magnet which wants to stick to the tool and to the valve and to everything else, so the retainer just kind of flops around like this. So
You have to get it to mate up with the other one.
Yeah, so I just get it in there as close as I can and come in with gently with a tiny little screwdriver and kind of
Nudge it in.
Yeah, coerce it. Funny balance between getting the spring compressed enough but not too. There we go. So
Oh, so it'll slide in.
because
Yeah.
if you do it too much now, the raised groove on the keeper will drop below the machine groove in the valve, and so now they're stuck open on the valve stem and you can't get it to roll up in, so you got to get it just right. So they want to rest on the retainer but with the grooves aligned, so that way they kind of just drop into place and then you release the retainer. So what's nice about this tool is even though I've got the main lever, the locket, I've got the T-handle down here.
You can really get it fine.
Yeah, because these valves are, they position a little bit differently here than the factory ones did. So once I collapse it, I actually have to collapse the spring just a touch more because the valve sits a little bit lower. So we'll have to put thicker shims in here.
Yeah.
Dude, I bet there was some colorful language the first time you did that.
Probably.
Assembly loop on the lifter and drop that back in. And
Yeah, since it's out, might as well put a little assembly lube on it before it goes in. That way everything has a good coating on it.
oh yeah, Tim, you got that nice and shiny. You are an expert at scraping gaskets
Gasket
now.
polisher.
Yeah. Since we're not going to have catalytic converters anymore, there's no reason to have secondary air injection. Basically, it's designed to heat up the cats faster, which, since there's no cats, won't really help.
The idea is we're going to run set screws in. We get a flashlight and you can see how small the port is where
Oh, really?
the air comes into the exhaust. So you can take a set screw and just run it into the aluminum.
Clean off the surface.
Yep, might as well do that before we start doing the valve adjustment, just because all of these valves are out of the way. Only these two are hanging, so get them to clean it all up so it's all nice, and then we'll flip it back over, lock the camshaft in, and start doing the valve adjustment, because these valves definitely sit differently than the original ones.
Okay. So I wanted to talk about something real quick. A lot of these people are like, oh man, you can do this sort of work for like $5,000-$6,000. No, you can do a timing belt service for maybe $5 to $6 grand, which means pulling the motor, replacing the belts, and maybe the tensioners. That's it. And then, the gaskets that you needed for that. That's it. Maybe you can get away with $5 to $6 grand. But we also were pulling off the heads, pulling off the oil pan, pulling off all sorts of other stuff. And this is not even including our screw up in the valves. We're doing a major, right? Like replacing every component that possibly could fail, including like sending off the alternator to be rebuilt, sending off the air conditioner to get reconditioned. So this thing's basically got a brand new engine from the heads up. Tons of new parts, and even one of the heads is arguably new as Tim slaves away, proving my point. That's why I've said this service could cost between $20,000 and $25,000 if you were to have it done in a shop. The parts alone in this service that we're doing could be easily over $5,000 to $6,000 just in parts. The labor you're talking,
I usually can do them in 80 to 100 hours.
Still, 100 hours.
That's from the parking lot, on the lift, apart, back together, off the lift, test driven, back
Yeah.
in the parking lot, bill written.
so you're talking 100 hours of labor and shops charge,
$120 to $200 an hour depending on your market.
right? No. To be fair, I'm using worst case scenario numbers because, well, it makes for a better video and title. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
How are your fingers?
Sore.
All right, so apparently we did not meet Josh's requirements for cleanliness. So you got it, not me. You get to scrape more. I'll stand here and laugh at you.
You're like that girlfriend wearing all designer clothing that uses the pronoun we
Yeah.
an awful lot.
Yeah. We're cleaning the engine.
Meaning I'm filming while Tim scrubs that off.
Yeah, let me wipe the sweat from your brow.
Oh, you did help.
You missed a spot.
We're such dicks.
Dicks.
See?
I know.
We are such dicks. We are. It is a team effort. If you didn't have us razzing you, you wouldn't work as hard.
That's probably true.
All right, we got
Now,
the
do
new head gasket.
Do we use the
Ooh.
gray pookie on this too?
Nope.
No, we use some silicone sealers sometimes on head gaskets on early motors because the casting quality is real poor. So you don't have good surfaces, and the layout on the head studs wasn't real great. You know, there's a lot of issues that makes it difficult to seal up a 50-year-old motor. These are really nice. These L-ring gaskets are nice. The blocks are nice. The heads are nice. The design's nice. So there's no need. This is already silicone beading, and it's plenty adequate. Obviously, it's not real hard to figure out which way it goes.
Yeah.
You've got your 2 cylinder head oil drains here, which go around the second cylinder, so it's easy to figure out. But just in case you want to make sure, like in this case, we're doing 1 cylinder head, and you want to make sure that you're not crisscrossing gaskets this way.
So numbers. I see. There's like numbers on the other side.
But even more,
It has the metal on the bottom that mates to
Oh yeah, yeah.
but
The metal.
also alto.
Alto. Top.
Yep. Voila.
It looks nice.
Sure does.
The gasket's part number 152029. You said.
the. Yes.
All right. And that's for just that side. That's a different part number for the other side, which we don't know what that is because we didn't order one. Yes, thankfully just 1 head gasket. Gotta get that aligned just right. Ooh.
There you go. First, we're going to wipe down all of the washers and put all the washers on, and then we're going to smear Molly Coat assembly lubricant on the nuts and thread all the nuts on by hand and get them all seated, and then we'll pull up the workshop manual page for the head torque procedure.
Can you really torque those to a specific torque?
Yeah.
You can get a torque wrench in there?
There is,
Or is it attached to that tool somehow?
yeah,
Oh.
we put a torque wrench on the dogleg tool.
Oh, okay, cool,
And
cool.
in the diagram, you know, they tell you if they want the torque wrench to come off this way
Yeah, I
or
was saying,
this
'cause
way
the,
or this
the
way.
force vector makes it change the torque, right?
Correct.
So-
Yep. So there's a specific orientation for the torque wrench to the socket that they want
okay.
you to adhere to.
Very cool.
And that's in the manual?
Yep.
Molly Coat assembly stuff.
Yeah, you want a little bit on the base of the flange nut, so that way it's lubricated on the washer. We don't have any on the other side of the washer because we want it to actually stick to the aluminum and not rotate on the aluminum. Nut rotates on the washer, and of course lubed on the threads.
Dude, is there a graceful
Come
way
on,
to-
Edward Sausage Fingers.
Dude. Yeah.
You're so nice.
Holy
There'll be some quacks for this section of video.
yeah, this is.
So we're just kind of snugging them down.
Yep.
Is there a specific torque sequence?
There is. Specifically, they want the torque wrench at a 90-degree angle to the dogleg socket. And they actually give 2 cylinder head torquing procedures depending on how you're doing it. The old school way is all you have is a torque wrench, and then you use a dial tool for your torque angle. So they give you a procedure to do your initial torque at foot-pound or newton meters, and then you set up your dial and you rotate it around. Alternatively, they give a process for what they call a sensor wrench, which is what I have, where it has a gyro built into it. So the torque wrench, as soon as it feels load, starts processing torque angle. And then at the end of the angle sweep, it's measuring torque load while measuring angle. So at the end of it, when I hit the angle, it will show me the load. They give us 2 procedures. One is the old school way, 60 Newton meters of initial torque plus 90-degree angle.
Right.
Or with a sensor wrench like I have, you do your initial at 40 degrees, which should come out to no more than 80 Newton meters. And then your second pass will be 160 degrees with no more than 120 Newton meters torque. And this is our...
That's the order?
Yeah, this is the order from the front of the head back. So
Okay,
1,
so-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Cool.
The torque angle is pretty common in the European stuff because they're less worried about the foot-pounds of torque because you have friction loss and all of that between the nut and the stud and the washer and things. So in their opinion, it's a little less accurate. What they're worried about is stretch on the head stud.
Right.
Because that's what creates your clamping load for your gasket. By their calculations, moving the nut a certain number of degrees times thread pitch mathematically equates to a specific clamp load on the gasket, because the stud's a specific size, specific material, specific thread pitch, and so they believe that to be a much more accurate torque process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Got the big babushka torque wrench. 40 degrees.
See that? And
Yeah.
it's saying 26.2 Newton meters. We're not quite at,
We need to get close to 80, right?
yeah.
So we gotta do it again.
Basically what that means is there wasn't really much seat on it. Most of the time, like that procedure there, they want you to do a torque load on the first pass because of the fact that it's hard to get the tool to read angle without any load. You know, it needs that load
Yeah.
to...
There it goes.
Right.
So that was 80 at 40.
Mm-hmm. Alright, that's first stage, 60 Newton meters all the way around.
Sweet.
I'm going to start back here and make sure that the first couple are still at 60 Newton meters, because usually as the gasket compresses,
Right, they get squished a little.
the first couple cylinders you did have less torque on them.
Quite
See
a bit.
that?
Yeah.
Quite a bit, yeah. Impressive.
So it doesn't say specifically to do that, but the way I understand and have learned it, they want 90 degrees after 60 Newton meters of torque. I want to make damn sure.
It's 90 degrees after 60? Damn.
So you turn it another 90 degrees?
That's a lot.
Yep. See that? That one's a little bit less.
Yep, yep. Much less there. Almost nothing in that.
Yeah, nothing on those. So now we'll start back here at the beginning again.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah, I've heard some builders say that they'll do that first torque pass and let it sit for a while.
Oh, so it squishes the
Let it
gasket.
settle.
Yeah, let it settle, and then come back and recheck it. Like if this were a race motor, you know, that we needed to...
Yeah, have everything be perfect.
Yeah, and everything's all strung out, you know, and at the absolute limit, so every little bit has to be perfect, because the motor can fail in a matter of minutes and hours. For what we're doing, that will be adequate there.
Alright, so basically it lets you know once you've pushed it 90 degrees.
It's 48. $87,
90.
90,
That's nuts.
75 Newton meters. And
So
so that's...
it didn't even really increase that much.
No, not a whole lot. And that's good, because in the manual it says if you have to do any rechecks, you want to make sure you have a minimum of, I believe it was 70 Newton meters, so 75 is good.
Okay.
This is why they prefer angle over torque,
Yeah.
because you see, went 90 degrees on both of these. One read 75 Newton meters and the other just read 90 Newton meters.
That differentiation in torque doesn't create warping?
No, because what we're talking about is when you're measuring torque in foot-pounds, the resistance of the nut turning creates force against this. What you're measuring is how much force it takes to rotate the nut.
Okay,
but
not
you
the
have
clamping force.
right. So you're measuring, yeah. So the resistance between the threads and the seat of the nut can increase the reading. You know what I mean? So like if you don't put grease on it, you'll hit 90 Newton meters really soon because of the frictional loss of the nut rotating. So this is why they like the angle instead of just the
Well, if you
torque
think
load.
about it, if you twist it 90 degrees, that means the nuts turn
down
so
the-
far,
yeah.
and they know the computational length that it actually is pulling on the
That's true.
stud.
Alright, so all the rest of them are in the high 90s to 105 Newton meters. Only that first one came out at 75 Newton meters. So that's good. So now the manual said. We'll double check the manual and see what it said the minimum was.
All right, so just double checking that each of them has at least 70 Newton meters
Correct, as per workshop manual.
per the manual. Yes. Yep.
Looking good.
Ooh, gooey.
Yeah.
Assembly lube. It'll last a little longer while we're spinning things manually.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to take that much time in rotations to get everything to work. So
Do we need to do the other ones then?
we probably will. We'll probably
Okay.
pop all the caps off and put lube on them again just to be safe. I mean, we don't have to do all 4 cams again, hopefully, but
At least gotta check them.
Did you know how to work on engines before doing this, Tim?
Some rudimentary shit. Nothing on Josh's scale.
Push rod. Push rod engines are easy.
Yeah, that's all my experience is push rod engines.
Yeah, I'd say I've only done push rods. I've fully taken apart down to the block a push rod engine, but
And then, like,
Push
Never.
rod is like a Camaro or
Yeah,
or-
American Muscle
yeah,
usually.
American Muscle.
all right. So we're aligning it to approximately TDC, since everything else is at TDC.
What's TDC stand
Top dead center. Basically, this is when we're saying that the number 1 piston is all the way up,
Oh, okay.
which is 0 degrees on the wheel. And if you see, there's little tiny marks. See, there's a mark here and then a mark on the cam.
Uh-huh.
And when those two align, it's approximately top dead center. But then we have to use
That's fine.
measurements to make sure that they're actually top dead center.
Oh.
All right, we're back to the joys of cam timing. This time without mistakes, hopefully. Retension the belt, then we gotta check the valve lash again since we put in new valves. All right, so we tighten the tensioner at
Or is that-
maximum
that's right.
deflection, maximum tightness.
10?
10. Yep. And that's also 10.
Measuring the gap or something?
Yeah, gotta measure the
10.9.
gap between the lifter and the cam. It should be within a certain range.
In traction as the engine gets hot and all of that.
Okay.
So you got to leave some clearance between the lifter and the very base of the camshaft so it can all grow. Plus, there's a few other things about it as well. And it also affects how noisy it is, and it also can affect the camshaft timing.
You're the master of what you do, man. Did
you find-
all the shit?
I think some people would disagree after watching this video where we bend intake valves, but sure. Electronically.
I can get an 11 in there, but it's tight.
So 10.5.
Yeah. 8.
Was that the back load or the front load?
Front.
Okay.
And the back one's 8.
So we're doing valve adjustment while the valves are, or while the cams are in. Which
Yep.
Is,
Only 3 out of the 8 valves need an adjustment. These first 2 and this one here. So
Okay.
the machine work on the valves is pretty on
good.
point.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And even these are only 4,000ths big, so still
Oh, really good.
yeah, still not that bad. So this is a Hill Engineering
Whoa.
tool available from Ricambi, part number AS9560 for this guy. It comes as a kit, so I call it the spoon and claw. So the way, this is the factory procedure for doing a valve adjustment, in a case where you're not pulling the camshafts out. Stick this guy in here,
Holy crap.
and if you notice, there's a notch machined
Oh, yeah.
into the spoon,
Okay.
so that will kind of tell you
How far to go?
So you take that and that.
Oh my god, are you gonna just depress the valve and then...
Already depressed the valve, so the valve is open. And there you go. Now, this is on the edge of the bucket, holding the valve open. And now we have enough clearance to pop the shim.
No kidding. Ooh.
Yes.
Pew.
Normal
Someone's gonna
part,
lose an eye.
normal part of the process.
I'd say, yeah, they probably don't stick all that well, do they?
Not always.
How do we know the piston's not up top?
The tool's designed so that way you can't open it enough.
Oh, okay. It couldn't actually touch the piston.
Yeah.
First, replace the 3.9 with a 4.0 shim, which should give us the 4,000ths we're looking for. By the way, yes, this video is sponsored by RicambiAmerica.com. go visit canbyamerica.com. Use the code NGS10. You get 10% off your entire order because they're awesome. They got all your OEM parts, the good stuff, good customer service.
And you get free cookies.
I've gotten free chocolate too.
Yeah.
I've had Reese's
M&Ms.
Pieces. I've had Oreos.
Nutter Butters.
Nutter Butters. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Those are good. This is called intermission. We have a break from the 348 to fix Hank's 430. This part is broken, which this is part number 201957. It's the switch that activates under the brake pedal, does the tail lights in the computer to let the computer know the brakes are being pushed. So obviously when that switch is going bad, you can't even start the car because you can't push the brake. It seems to be working. Just able to get in gear.
That would have been 2 degrees.
The static reading is 26 10,000ths.
Yeah.
So we're going to 30 thousandths. There's 10 thousandths clearance. We need 40 thousandths. So 40 minus 10 is 30.
Spun it around until we got 30 thousandths deflection on the lifter, which was at 2 degrees. Found the other half of it was at 49 degrees. So we did the math. So you do 2 plus 49 plus 180, get that number, divide by 2, subtract the 2 degrees, and we got 113.5, and we need 109. So we're off by 4 degrees, which might be perfect. So we just need to move it one hole.
Blast myself in the face.
So we're gonna pull the pin and try and get it only one position.
Here we go. Tim.
Sweet.
What's that?
From 90 we got 10, 20, 30, 45, 6. So it's 4.5 plus 180 plus 46 equals
110.75.
divide by 2 minus 4.5. 110.75.
We're shooting for 110.
109 and a half.
1.5.
So that puts us 1 degree.
1 degree too much. But we were heading the right direction. We didn't screw up that time.
Nope. And you see what I mean? Advance reduces the center line.
Yes. All right. So we want 109.5. We're at 110.5. We think it's pretty much good. It's within 1 degree. We're gonna leave it for now. We're gonna check all the other cams because of how much we've been messing around. We're make sure that all those computations were done correctly and we're all good.
And we timed the other 3 cams and then dropped the belt, pulled the cylinder head,
so
put a
we
new
messed
head
around with
gasket
stuff.
on. Yeah. We've done a lot of disassembly since the timing was set, so it'll be interesting to see
Hopefully it stayed.
how it all retimes.
Or at least close.
I really hope it stayed. I don't want to redo it all.
No. Please God, no.
I'm with you.
All right. So we got 108 and we need 112. Advanced by 4 degrees. All right. So we gotta move the pin, hopefully 1 hole. So we are hosed on the ability to move that cam gear because we're out of positions available, so we had to lock it down again. So we locked down the cam using the card trick. We're removing the tension off the tensioner. So now we gotta pull off the wheel.
Now I just moved the cam gear around, so the pin just dropped in the center of
Right.
my sweep of my range of
So
motion
now we
for
have
the
full,
camshaft.
like 16 degrees each direction. We can adjust it.
12, yeah.
12.
Yep, we can go 12 degrees either direction. So now,
Let's go forward one
go forward 1,
and unlock the cam.
unlock the cam.
But do we
and
want to
roll
put
it
we want to
in
put
place.
tension on the belt first, right?
Yep. It doesn't matter right now.
Okay, because everything's locked.
So that would be 2.
2, 45, 6, 46, 46, 2, minus 2. Oh, shit.
Where we at?
Jackpot!
112?
Jackpot! Dead on.
Call that bitch done.
That one's good.
So how close were we on the intake on this side?
It was a 110.5.
It's only 1 degree advance.
Dude,
It's fine.
pretty damn good.
Having super expensive, really nice working, good shit instead of chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. Who knows what it's thinking shit makes a huge difference because when
Yeah.
you're trying to get, I mean, we had that set within 1/1000th of an inch of accuracy on both opening and closing. But so far that was the fastest, easiest, most accurate cam we've timed.
Thank God.
We earned it.
Well, yeah, we deserved a win. We needed a win. We concluded we need to put some more lube on the cams because they're kind of getting jumpy. We've been farting around with this thing too much, so we're gonna pull off the bearing caps and re-lube. Put in the lube, Tim. Alright, so we got new lube. We're gonna reset the tensioner.
5.
How much was it?
Hold on.
Not quite there yet.
Still a
25.
little sticky.
There's 26.
Oh, that's perfect, I think. That's 54.
54. Ooh, stop.
And that would be 10. Dude, that's perfect. That's actually fucking
32.
book numbers. 54 and 10.
Boom! 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 Spot
That's
on!
actually what it should have been.
100% spot on.
Sweetness.
Balls. That's some gloriousness right there.
Yep. So I'm good with that one.
Yeah, yeah. Don't touch
Sure.
it.
You sure?
Yep. I
Woo!
have no question about that.
That's badass. That's 2 wins. 2 wins in a row.
We're on a roll.
Knock on wood.
You need the little bar.
Alright, no whammies.
110.
110?
That's 1/2 a degree.
Yeah, and the other one was at 110.5.
Yeah. Because this was
Good enough.
Because the other one was 40.
That's actually imperfect because we want it to be 109.5. 1/2 a degree is our belt stretch. The other one is 112. 112.5 would have been beautiful, but we're not going to find 1/2 a degree. So,
We're done.
Spot on. Oh my god.
yep.
High five!
Yes!
High five!
Go, Josh!
Yes! 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 Ah.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, just whack, 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 done.
Yeah. That's how cam timing is supposed to go.
Mm.
Whatever it was happened last weekend, that's not how cam timing is supposed to go. Got you a hot rod.
Nice.
God, I can't wait to hear it. It's
Yes.
going to be so sweet.
Oh my god. Alright.
Started looking like a Ferrari.
We're going to stop here while we're on a high because we haven't had a win in a little while. So everything looks really, really good. Everything's within 1 degree of perfect. That's very good. That's well within the margin of error. We're happy.
Yeah, and I'm happy our intake cam assembly marks are dead on, and our exhaust cam assembly marks are hair advanced. And that tells me it is visually from those marks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
Factor did a pretty good job.
Yep, just the tiniest bit.
Right on.
See the marks there. Marks there.
So tomorrow,
Pretty damn good.
we
Yeah.
Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today. Again, this video is sponsored by reputable.com. Go visit their website, reputable.com. Use the code NGS10, get 10% off your entire order. Holy crap, we're gonna have a badass 348 pretty soon. So now we just gotta start buttoning it up, putting crap back on it, and then we throw it back in the car. We got a surprise for you. We haven't really talked about it, but we got a surprise. You're gonna like this, you're gonna wanna stay tuned, so trust me on this one. Alright, we'll see you guys later. It's gonna be sweet.